There are a lot fewer two-parent families.
What's worth more, $1 today or $1 tomorrow?
Almost nobody gets out of love alive.
Prisoners' rights is out of sight, out of mind.
Is your brain on God?
You ain't ready to
There are discussions
how
as
they thought
black families have to have them.
What's worth more, $1 today or $1 tomorrow? What's worth more, $1
Welcome, folks, to Reality Gurus, the show we take a commonsensical approach to issues through complex conversation. I'm your host, G. Cleve. Got a nice little conversation coming up, man, with on the heels of Eminem dropping this. What's the name of this damn album? Kamikaze. I got the fellas here. We're gonna go ahead and get into it. Listen, Anye, DB, Andy, Kamikaze. Seems like Marshall Mathers is a little upset behind the criticism. Revival. Did you guys hear Revival? His album Revival?
album was horrible.
Okay, so
I agree with the criticism. I agree with the criticism.
Yeah, you heard. So all right. So with the fact that everybody is so critical on that Revival album, he comes out with this sneaky Kamikaze. Just want to know what you guys feel about it. Let's go around the board, man. Andy, how you feel about Kamikaze, brother?
Eminem is a weirdo and a bozo to some degree because a lot of the criticisms he had, like he's angry about people that was criticizing the album, and the fact that he released this album is there's some truth in it, because if you're really gung-ho about what your music and your work, you'd be like, nah, man, fuck that. I like that album. I'm gonna keep it out there. And it should have never been called Kamikaze. It should have been called seppuku or fucking harakiri, which is also Japanese terms for you killing yourself because your content and you're reaching, sir. He's reaching for content. And then he had to make a motherfucking Charlemagne academics, Joe Budden, had legit criticisms about his album, and then he want to be all pouting and mad. Nigga, you could get criticized once in your career. Jesus, man, you the great white hope. You like shit. You know how many times niggas criticize Jay-Z? Pac ain't that lyrical. Nas this and that. The beats is crazy. Yo, man, Eminem could get criticized once. Fuck that.
Copy. DB, what's up, man?
I like the album, man. I like the energy he brought, and I agree that the fact of he kind of in between albums. Like I personally probably didn't listen to him after the Eminem show myself, because nothing really stuck with me. But I think this brought like a new energy from him. Like I mean, not for nothing. Who really consider Eminem like a very high content rapper? You know what I mean? Like he's come from the underground scene. He kind of stays that way. He's about criticizing people. He's been doing it his whole career. He always responds to people. He's been doing that shit his whole career. This is nothing different than that. I think he is reaching, but I like the reach. I like the fact that it brought this side out of him where he brought some local content. The content itself I thought was dope. Like I thought his rhyme, like his it went back to his old skills a little bit without pushing it, because I think some of his shit in between, he's pushing some of that old Eminem, trying to bring that energy back. I think this felt more natural.
Got you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, what you think, man?
Hey, I like the fact that it's kind of breathing life into hip hop. Not saying the album, because to me the album is just okay. You know, just the whole controversy around it or whatnot. I've never been a fan of Eminem. I'm still not. You know, but he went the typical route of taking shots at the young dudes or whatnot. But it woke up a couple of lyricists to come shoot back at him, and I like that old school element of competition that it's bringing back. I like the whole controversy around it, and as well, like the conversation we had before about hip hop. It's showing that the older guys in hip hop still have a place in hip hop. So I hope that it wakes up a couple of those older MCs that we like to come out here, take some shots, get relevant in the game again. That's beautiful.
And to fuel that point, I think it's probably energizing some of the younger cats to do something that they probably would not do, because how many cats really are battling each other, like battle each other?
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? This is pushing cats to like respond. Like with the J. Cole shit, and you have the YBN Corday with the old niggas, you know what I mean? Like you have this, and you have MJK, who I've never heard of, probably won't listen to him beyond the diss track. But that diss track was kind of aight. Like it was pushing them to a different level that they haven't had to go on before.
Listen,
at all.
Man, fellas.
Y'all never heard of Machine Gun Kelly?
You never heard of Machine Gun Kelly? Listen, let me tell you something, man. Listen, let me just put it out there. I'm about bars. I like bars, like to the core of me. We've had this conversation before. I'm about bars, but there is a part of me that likes to dance. So that's why I can kind of, exist in this. I mean, I may not be able to dance, but I showed them before that I'm gonna move a little bit if you turn the music on. But when you come back to
the shit out that song,
when you
come two-step. I'm a one.
I was more than two-stepping. I was doing I was doing the what's that shit? We did on the night, yeah. I was doing all that shit to that song, man. Listen to me. Listen to me. I've been listening to Kamikaze for the last like 2 or 3 days. Just on the road, just listening to it. And every time I listen to it, there's only one song that I skip through. And that's just because it's a vibe I'm in. And this one song, when they start talking about D12, I think it's track number 4, that I kind of skip through. Let's just say this, man. Let's just say this. I'm a bar fan. I am a battle rap fan too, like Smack, stuff like that. So I'm always staying into, the way that the new flows are, the new flows that come out. A lot of times you see that stuff come from battle rap, right?
Yeah.
If Eminem didn't kill, I mean, he killed. First of all, I don't even think Joe Budden's. He's hiding behind the fact that he's with Revolt now, that he doesn't really respond. He don't want nothing with
What?
I'm a stand. First of all, Eminem had listen. How many different flows did Eminem have? Slim Shady have on Kamikaze? How many different flows inside of one song? This motherfucker, he had like 6 flows on one song. Joe Budden ain't even ready. He not even.
Man, you ain't hear when he did that Drake? The nigga had like 8 different songs, and this just was 10 minutes. So
listen,
Buttons ain't to be played with. Buttons ain't to be played with.
Here's what I'm saying. We're going to judge. We're going to judge if it ever happens. We're going to judge that battle, right? We know they both got bars, so now we're looking for the X factor. M is doing so much creative stuff with the wordplay. That wordplay is not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. He's doing so much with the wordplay. It's insane. Did you hear the track with him? Go ahead.
He's already sent the warning shot out, and he said he got a lot of information they can put out there.
Somebody made that. Yeah, somebody made that point too. Like, people are just thinking about M and Joe Buttons, but you forget about the whole Slaughterhouse, and you forget about Royce the 5'9", who was riding with Eminem, like through everything. Like they almost, I don't know if they childhood friends, but they've been friends for a long time. Which Royce and Joe Buttons were kind of close too. Mm-hmm. So now you got somebody who knows your shit, who's riding with this other dude. That there's a lot of information that could be put out later on.
Okay. First of all, I'm not giving a cat a victory.
Yeah, that's true. That's facts. I didn't know that.
I personally don't give cats victories off of pure personal bars. Like if the whole thing is about personal shit, then I'm not just giving you the victory over that. First of all, a lot of these motherfuckers don't even know each other. How you talking about his personal stuff like that? Let's get to the bars. That's the funny part.
I mean, it depends on how you put the personal shit.
What I'm saying, okay, for instance, I wasn't cool with M taking a shot at Button, saying the only
thing you do on beat
is slapping bitch. Right. So, I mean, that's some personal shit, right? But then right after that, he hit Machine Gun Kelly. He took a specific part of that track. He dropped everything, put the bass line, and made it clear. I'm giving you 30 bars, MG. I'm giving you 30 bars strictly to you. You telling me Joe Budden's is ready for that? The last time I saw Joe go in is on the Pump It Up album.
Damn.
The Pump It Up album. The Joe Budden on the first album.
Who else?
Who else? And Joe, my man.
There's some of his murder music stuff that I like.
Who's
like
he
when
going
doing the
after?
murder music mixtape
I'm
that
talking
I
about
like.
battling now.
Music.
I'm talking about battling now. I'm not talking about being able to make a song. I'm talking about when it comes time to put these gloves
Well,
on.
who was he battling on the Pump It Up joint? I don't remember him battling anybody.
No, but what I'm saying, that was his first album, his first introduction to the industry, and Buttons was on something different in my opinion. Then he can. Don't forget me wrong. I'm not taking nothing away from his bars. I want you to tell me what battles has he won. He battled Ransom, and Ransom is trash.
Drake didn't respond.
Yeah, they say he won that Drake shit, but I don't know. It's Drake. But didn't he also kind of jump in the battle rap scene from what I heard?
He lost the Hollow to Dime. And he lost the Hollow to Dime. And he lost the Hollow to Dime.
How did he do with that? Because I never watched it. How was he with that?
Wasn't his cut? First of all,
he lost that shit.
First of all, total slaughter.
No. Okay.
He was like, God.
Like you say, G, you know what I'm saying? You love the battle rap culture. I love it too.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that just anybody, you can't just jump into battle rap thinking you can do it. It's not bars alone. You gotta have performance. You gotta have delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Buttons lack that performance and delivery. The bars are straight.
Cool.
But with that fucking monotone ass way
I think Buttons got delivery a little bit, but I think when you put him with somebody,
not in the battle rap scene.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen his battle rap shit.
Yeah, it was. They had, you know, the thing is in the battle rap scene. There's also kind of a rhythm to it, right? With the delivery, it's different with the beat because the beat kind of keeps you guided. When you are battle rapping a cappella, you got to keep yourself. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that bounce, and he wasn't able to do that. Now, I'm gonna blame Total Slaughter. The whole setup, the whole arrangement sucked. If it was on Smack or something like that,
man,
it would have been a whole lot better. He still would have lost, but visually it'd have been better. Hollow would have cooked him. But my point is, Button has bars. He can make music. He can have you sit in a car and and listen to an album and keep driving. I asked you, when it comes down to battling, does he want any smoke from Marshall Mathers? That's what I asked.
Want all the smoke.
It's up for debate, sir.
I can't wait.
Well, you know what? This kind of goes back to the whole. It was the first time I can remember it was the whole Cannabis versus LL.
Oof.
You know, you got your underground lyricist that the underground world loves, and you got your guy that's he's a star. He's mainstream. You know. I feel that technically by the bars, Cannabis won that.
Cannabis won that shit. I always say that shit.
Cannabis won. But in public opinion, in the mainstream, your casual hip hop fan, they're gonna give it to LL because all of the money and the corporations were behind LL. He got more publicity. He got more marketing put behind him, and that goes back to the whole Joe Budden thing.
Here we go.
Joe Budden is the rapper's rapper. He's a rapper's rapper. He's someone that the lyricists respect and they like. The mainstream doesn't give a fuck about Joe Budden. So all of his targets have been mainstream guys. If you go back to his battles, the boss was legit. Who was really trying to hear him? Because he's Joe Budden. He's just a lyricist. We don't care about him. We care about, because if you think about the guys he battled Game. He battled Drake. Well, Drake didn't respond back. You know what I'm saying? I can't think of the other dudes.
Ransom is his most. Ransom was because that one was back and forth. They threw like 2 or 3, verses or songs at each other. The rest of that stuff is Buttons has been an artist. He's been an artist. Let's stop playing. Even though people are scared to battle him because he got bars, if you put him in a battle, now I want to see what's going on. And not just a battle with Marshall Mathers. I can hear, man. Listen,
Are you saying in the smack realm? If it's in the smack realm, Eminem is winning. But I feel like if they're doing like songs and shit, Joe had the possibility.
I got it flipped because I don't think Eminem would do well in the acapella realm. I saw him on the BET Cypher and he was terrible. His delivery, the content was cool, but I'm telling you, these cats seem to think they could come from the industry, jump on a battle rap stage and kill. You don't watch these cats die. I watched King Los just die a couple weekends ago. He just died. But Cannabis died. Right. He said there's 50 pages of rhymes in this motherfucker. Listen, but you're not supposed to be here with that. So, but my thing is with LL and the Cannabis thing real quick. I disagree though. I kind of think that Return of the Ripple was. I mean, that was the end of it. That just shut everything down. Matter of fact, DB, me
That
and
song
you.
sucked. You like that song?
Second round knockout was the truth.
Second round
man.
knockout is still better than that shit.
Yeah,
You
that's
bought
one
the
of the
book.
greatest
You
diss
got the
songs
book
of all
you want to
time.
read. Nobody wants to hear that shit.
Oh,
That
Jesus.
LL shit was weak. That nigga, and I hate LL in the sense. Now his accomplishments is great, it's grand, but I hate. There's always a metaphor he always do. Like it is always a bomb metaphor. Like I'm ticking like a time bomb. Boom. Whenever he's trying to like be aggressive, he always say some shit about dynamite or all this other shit. No, this nigga lost.
How much of
LL
that?
lost.
How much of that biasness is due to the fact that L decided to open the top button of his shirt than to keep it closed back in the 80s? How much of that? Because I really believe it's because he had female fans. That's the reason why Cannabis felt that he was going to eat him up in a battle. You soft now. You ain't from the street no more. Because he opened his shirt.
I feel like lyrically the song is still better, man. I feel like Cannabis second round knockout lyrically is better. And not saying that LL didn't do his thing. I think he did better than I thought he would.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to choose it song by song, I would pick it by Cannabis. And I think you gotta reflect on the fact there is some of that public shit. Let me ask you something, because I heard this the other day with this other podcast I was listening to, and they were talking about like the Eminem shit back in the day, especially with Benzino. Even though I think lyrically, Eminem ripped Benzino's a new asshole, but they also said like there was a lot of other shit that might have came into play for the fact that Eminem was under Interscope, that with Benzino owning some of the source, that when it came time to it, like when I guess they had beef and Benzino was trying to put out tapes with him saying nigga and all this, that they started kind of shutting down the source by not putting the artists in there, by banning anybody who went to source to do interviews and then going to Double XL to a point where they ruined that man's career. So there was like some stuff on the back end that they did to kind of fuck with Benzino more than just the rap battle. And they kind of said the same thing with 50 Cent when he was going with Ja Rule, which is kind of why you don't hear them niggas. So how much do you think is happening behind the scenes? How much of this stuff like is more public opinion than it is just a rap battle and shit?
Yeah, a lot of times it's climate. Climate plays a pivotal role in these battles.
Right.
I was reading something last night from Cardi B, because y'all know the whole Cardi B Nicki Minaj thing is going on. She came in the thing, threw the shoe at her and shit, whatever.
Crazy.
But Cardi was saying in a post that Nicki behind the scenes was keeping her out of a lot of events, telling certain artists if they work with her, she'd never work with them again.
Right.
Telling certain award shows if she comes, she's not going to show up to the award show. So there's definitely some validity to, it's not just on wax, it's off of wax too, and trying to ruin your whole career.
Well, I mean, we talking about especially like now with M and if I'm going back to M and Button for a minute. Button has money behind him now. There's no excuse. Like this thing could be a big, to do. There's no excuse for you not to come down off that throne and get his cat 3 rounds of bars. But
he's gonna do it.
We'll see, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss that because I don't think he's coming. We're gonna wait and we're gonna see. But let me ask if I'm gonna get back into the album real quick, man. I like the theme, attacking cats he got some problems with. I'm for all of that shit. Who really wins when Marshall Mathers is affected by the criticism from his last album? I do. I win because I get bars from this motherfucker. I win. and what do you guys think about the Joyner Lucas track? Did you guys see that one? And what do you think about the part with him saying?
I don't know if I like Joyner Lucas. Like I hear him, he's alright, but I don't know if I'm like a big fan. Beyond the I am not racist joint, I don't know if I'm a big fan of him.
Oh, you didn't like that verse?
Just raps.
You didn't like that verse?
It was alright. I heard him on a couple of joints. Like I heard him on a Static Selector joint because I listen to Static Selector every now and then. He's alright. Like
he's being. I bring it up because he's being embraced by you just said Static Selector. Now we know M. That made it clear. You had him on the album, had him on a feature, had him on in my opinion, one of the dopest songs on the album. Not only that, he also plugged them and said that if it ain't Joyner, KD, and some other cats, he really ain't fucking with you. So he's getting that support. The reason I bring him up is because he said nigga in the verse, and I wanted to know how you guys felt about that.
I missed that part.
Okay, so
Eminem said nigga in the verse.
Joyner
Yeah,
Lucas said I'm that nigga. He said I'm that nigga, and they set it up the way they set the song up. He did a little like an intro thing, and then M did the same thing. But when M did his intro, he said I'm that cracker. Joyner said I'm that nigga, and M said I'm that cracker. Did y'all miss that? Y'all really missed that?
I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
now I
said
gotta ask
Eminem
because I
said nigga.
No. Joyner Lucas said I'm that nigga, and Eminem said I'm that
Yeah,
cracker.
Jordan Lucas. Ain't Jordan Lucas black though? He mixed or something. I don't know.
Is he?
Jordan Lucas.
I didn't know he was. Is he? Is he?
He looks black. He look kind of like white
I
Mexican.
don't know him either.
Hold on.
would
Wait.
know.
This is important here. This is very important here. It's so when he did the I'm Not Racist track, right? I thought that was him playing the role of him speaking from the, I'm a racist white guy, or just say white guy in America who, whatever. And the young brother was supposed to be the struggle. Wasn't that what it's supposed to be?
Oh no, man! Jordan Lucas is black. Yeah, he look like Lloyd Banks. He look like Lloyd Banks.
He also did both sides. So that's confusing. Like that.
Okay, that's what
What confused us is that his ass wasn't in that first video. That's what confused us all. We didn't know what the fuck this motherfucker looked like.
Oh, you thought he was a white guy?
I swear I thought Joyner Lucas was white. I swear I thought Joyner Lucas. This is crazy, gentlemen. I swear if you look at the I'm not a wait a minute, man. Joyner Lucas is not white. I did not know.
Let's go off of that a little bit, because one of the things when I was listening to the stuff about Benzino, which I might have forgot, might not know because I was younger then. I was a teenager. I probably didn't care. Was like part of the Benzino shit. Like I said, he had a tape. And he had got,
I remember that.
Yeah, from Eminem's people about him saying nigga, and him saying that he don't fuck with white woman, black women because all they do is want your money and all this other shit. And they put out a little bit of the tape, but then they got sued and everything else and kind of subdued for him putting out any of the other tapes. So legally, he can't put out the tapes. But that made me think, like, if this nigga was out here actually saying the word nigga and fuck black woman and all this other stuff, did that change anything in today's climate anyway?
Well, that's where I was going. I was kind of going to that. Well, it kind of changes a little bit now that I know that he's not a white guy. That I happen to go to the I'm not a racist thing. He's wearing that's a fucking costume. That's like a fake beard and all this other stuff, right?
No, I think that's not him. I think that was an actor.
No.
That was an actor.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Hold on. So that was an actor and he was doing a voiceover. Oh man. Thank you, gentlemen. Please.
Yeah, he was lip syncing. He was lip syncing. Joiner's verses.
Oh shit. Hold on, fellas.
I knew that. I just still thought that he was white.
I didn't
Joyner Lucas. This is the Tom Joyner, so he's a black guy. All right.
You know what, man? That is okay. So now that I, y'all done fucking embarrassed the shit out of me on TV. Let me go ahead and run the DV real quick. So now that idea, that's what I was gonna get into. The idea of the culture embracing, artists who, are dope and maybe white, but because they're in and around the culture, they start using certain language. I kind of wonder, is there a point where, black people would feel like there's some situations where that would be acceptable, where there's
crazy? I've actually seen some posts where people are like, Eminem is black, he's a nigga. And I'm like, where? But there's a few posts I've seen where people are actually embracing him as a black person because of just him being a rap king. But and I guess also he put people out there and he hangs around black people. But I'm like, he's still white. Like they call him like, yo, this is my nigga. He's a nigga. And I'm like, no, he's not. So there are some people that are taking him in where that kind of muddles the whole shit. You know what I mean? Like he may feel comfortable back then to say the word nigga because people embrace him as being black.
Right. I don't know, man. It's slippery, man. I'd be willing to think about it a little bit more because the context is different. So I'd be willing to think about it a little bit more. The idea of someone who let's say is close to you, who maybe uses that word around you guys. I don't know, man. There was a little skit that Marlon Wayans did on one of his stand-ups where he had this very conversation with a white guy that was a friend of his, and he kind of told him like this, man. I'll accept it around me, but don't use this as a pass to go do this around all black people. So I mean, I kind of wonder like if would you look at someone, look at a brother Strange because he does have a friend who associate who uses the word I'll say the N word. I'll say N word.
I think that's more of a generational thing because the younger the generation you go, the less they care about it. I mean, you got kids that look like everything throwing around the nigga word. More so with our generation, we give a damn. Some of us are offended, some of us are not. The older generation, them niggas really ain't with that shit. Like, nah,
Yeah.
they like even young black people seem to be saying that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely see, and I have actually seen rappers of this new generation who ain't black throwing the nigga word around, and they fan base and young black people and their generation is cool with it.
Got you. Well, I tell you what, man. I like the album. I like the shots. I like Eminem,
Buttons is coming.
and hold on, Joe Buttons. I like you. And Eminem, he kind of set the bar really high with Kamikaze, in my opinion, simply because along with the wordplay, he did some things with words and verses that I ain't heard nobody do. So I mean, it'd be good for hip hop. And if you really the man, I've heard you talk about how you wanted to be considered the best rapper of all time. Wasn't about records, wasn't about sales. You sitting in a nice seat right now. You got
He said he would eat Eminem, so put that in there. He said he would eat Eminem.
Well, you say you would eat Eminem. The only way we're going to know is if you step down off that throne, grab your mic, and get into it. But anyway, folks, nice little quick show. My man Andy Anye DB gave some interesting insight to this Kamikaze Eminem situation and Joe Budden. But we'll sit back. It'll be good for the fans, good for the culture. Hopefully, they make it happen. I'm G Cleve, Reality Gurus. Take care.